righty roo, and cuckoo choo to you, and all my nobodies not watching out there. Before I continue, I have to just say, so last night, and I actually just did it right now, I double tapped my button, and this controller's getting a little old, you know, as it do be. You know, I probably dropped it, you know, more than enough. But I just took a screenshot instead of starting the thing. And I don't think it's me, because I've done this so many times. But this time it's like, no, I was confident I did it right. And I noticed, nope, screenshot instead of the thing. So maybe the little share button's getting a little worn out from me doing all these Let's Plays. I've got I think I have like over 1,000 videos. Like, I have done so many fucking videos, because I'll just keep going till I don't feel like it or till I complete the game. And some of the videos are like, you know, 10 minutes long, and some are like 30 minutes or whatever. I don't always keep to any sort of standard, because that's not how the game works, and I do minimal editing. But at any rate, I must not have noticed last night, or the other night. It wasn't even last night, it was the other day, when I started recording at the end of the last video, that it made the noise and I wasn't paying close enough attention, and so it didn't record. And I think this is because I have a terminal condition called the big dumb. Now some days it's the small dumb, but I have it, and I just take every day one at a time and hope it's gonna be a small dumb day and I won't be dumb as much. But yeah, I did notice, so I'm gonna try to catch up before I actually do anything, now that I've explained that I'm dumb sometimes. And again, I also will say that the controller might itself be causing problems, because I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the controller that's making my headset not work as well, or if it's the headset itself. Again, things get dropped or knocked over or whatever. They get old. Things happen. You know, worn or whatever. But, you know, I know that I've been watching some of these, and sometimes the audio quality starts to do that, and I can usually hear it, so I try to fix it. But it's still happening. So that's an example of you know, maybe it's the controller. Regardless, doesn't really matter how or why. Just trying to be transparent. And that doesn't really matter all that well. In the sense that it happened. But what does matter is that in a game like this, what was missed. Because it was like a full 30-minute thing. Like it was like a full length episode, or like 20 minutes or something, where stuff happened. Was it this chick? I think it was this chick. So, in the last episode, from what I recall, I tried to rewatch it. No, it wasn't this chick. There was another chick. Okay. Or maybe it was the same chick, she just looks different now. I don't think so. But she had, my position is somebody who has to, kind of, like, I act as, I think I said Ellis Island. I don't know if I said that in the last one. But I have to kind of, everybody is supposed to go through me, at least at their low level. If they don't, when they come to visit, they gotta basically, I'm customs, you know? I've got to be like, why are you here? Business pleasure, blah, 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 blah. Where you going? How long you staying? What's your name? That sort of thing. They have other people to do it for them if they're higher up, or they'll go see somebody higher up. I get all the riffraff, street rat. I don't buy that. If only they'd look closer, would they see us? Pour the sombra. Yeah, no, they probably would. I'm just lucky to be part of the Camarilla registry or whatever. I had to continue the song even if I didn't sing it. Anyway, so it's a trash fucking position. It doesn't even have like an official title. I'm basically a glorified gopher, and this lady came to see me, and she is the lady she owns a hole, but she's like enigmatic and is never there, but she owns it, and it's basically the place where everybody goes to meet, like in coteries of New York, but it's apparently like that's Elysium, or like, you know, like that's it. Elysium, I don't know what the fuck to call it. That's like, it's the place in New York that we hold meetings and talk. It's, you know, for vampires by vampires. You know, it's technically a gallery or whatever, but mostly it serves to hold court and to meet in a, not a neutral area, but it's like business is conducted there. And vampire business is conducted there under, you know, official decree of the Camarilla. And I guess they can require people to be there, or you can just sort of show up if you want. I don't know how that works. I don't know if invites or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Not important. But she owns it, and she wasn't part of the last game, and they didn't talk much about her, but apparently my character knows that she's weird, and said so, and I was like, I didn't really want to say that, but it wasn't a good thing there. Sort of biffed the conversation at first. The motherfucker looks like a Banu Hakim, or an Assamite. That's an assassin vampire. I was like, I'm afraid you're here to kill me. And I was surprised that basically a celebrity came to see me. Like, you have other ways to do this. It's like, oh, no. I would rather, like, I'm not trying to surprise the prince. I want to save them paperwork. It seems like a kindness, making the underling do it instead of them having to do it. It's like, that doesn't sound right, but sure, whatever. And she was also like, actually, it's like, also, I'm just kind of interested in you. I wanted to meet you. They don't have a lot of La Sombra, you know. It just seems like it would be interesting. It's like, well, cool. And then the conversation went relatively well. And it was one of those things like, well, I'll see you at the party later. It's like, I wasn't invited. Like, oh, that sucks. It's like, yeah, well, you know, I've just been working. I'm just doing my dues for like a year or 6 months or something, but fuck it. It is what it is. And she was kind of like nice about it. You know, she was kind of like, you know what? I feel ya. That sucks. You know. And I think she might have actually been Banu Hakim. Like, I think she actually, like, she ends up revealing that she is one. And her clan, just like La Sombra, are not, like, or maybe this chick Samira is. I can't remember. Fuck, I can't remember. One of them is Banu Hakim, maybe both. I don't know. At any rate, they just recently joined the Camarilla. They aren't trusted very much, just like the La Sombra aren't, because that's just historically not worked in anybody's favor. Banu Hakim are effectively assassins. They're assassin vampires, like, that's the best way to put it. They've pretty much kept to themselves, been neutral, and been employed to be assassins. That's it. It's like, that's what their vampiric disabilities help them, or disabilities, their vampire powers help them to be very, very effective assassins. And I don't really remember how they came to be in the history of all that. But I think it was basically like, they're not as old as a lot of the other clans, and they don't let people know their history. And so they've been assassins. They basically chose to be assassins and deliberately developed themselves into it, when some vampire was like, I'm just gonna do this now, and like chose to kind of like sequester themselves and was good at it, and then just kept sort of like evolutionarily working on it till eventually they became a clan, a bloodline of just assassins. And they don't always assassin, but they're all basically that sort of thing. It gets more deep than that. I know more about them, that they have other things. The only ones you know about are the actual assassin ones, but there's like scholars, and then there's another type. I can't remember. But there's like 3 different ways you can bond a Hakim. And like I think one's like a scholar who keeps track of history, and then there's like a scout one, and a research and development, and then maybe the scholar one does that too. And then there's the ones that everybody knows about, which are the assassin ones. But all have the same basic powers to do that. Anyway, and so she's like, well, we have something in common, or maybe I have something in common with this chick Samira here. And I was in the middle of a conversation. I talked to Kadir, who he has changed his look to be more appealing, in my opinion. He looks much more dapper and much less like he's going to kill everyone in the room at all times. I thought it was a good change. The clothing was toned down a little, but I like what he did with his hair, and he doesn't have the same stare anymore, which is good. And he seemed a little more friendly to the La Sombra one, which was pretty cool, to my La Sombra character. But I basically just got to sit outside while everybody left the party and try to talk to them. And I'm pretty sure I messed up a number of the conversation options because certain people wanted me to do something and I didn't. And then I think certain people didn't want me to do something and I did. Or maybe there was really no right answer, and who knows. And now I'm dealing with Samira, who seems to be the only one that actively wishes to engage with me in any real way and acknowledges me. So that's pretty cool, and I think that pretty much has me caught up. I think. I'm pretty sure that's it. And maybe, again, Samira might be the same person from before, and I wouldn't know. It actually does make sense that they are. But they're wearing, because they were wearing a hijab before, but their face was very well covered, and you can see that there's like a scar there, so maybe that's why they, had something to cover that. What? See, and it's doing that too. What the fuck? What is that? I'm worried that maybe it's the PlayStation 4 that's getting bad too, because it's doing this thing where it might be the controller that it thinks it's supposed to, I push the button and push it back, it'll think it's going back to the menu. It just pops up the blue screen for a second like it's gonna go to menu and then goes back. So I don't know, all my shit's getting old. That sucks. I don't know what else to say. Set up a Patreon and the 0 people watching this can give me no money so that I can buy a new one or something. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I think I'm pretty much caught up to where I am now. And I just needed to kind of be like, fuck, I missed a whole episode effectively just got missed. So and I reset hoping it would take me back to that, but it did not. I just turned it off. But it auto-saved, so there's nothing I can do about it. So it is what it is, so here we are. Thank you. We're about caught up now, I think. I hope. So as we were. Samira, thank you so much. I am eager to see the outfit you came up with. And how are you, Julia? Have you seen any lights at the end of the tunnel? I'm not even invited. Oh, maybe I'm there before they're leaving. I'm not even invited. They haven't even invited me to the party tomorrow. Okay, so maybe it's not even tomorrow. Maybe this is this is not a party. I'm here for some other thing? I forgot. I know I had to meet Kadir and I was late. And so that makes me think that it's not Samir that's the same person. Because, I mean, it might be, but it might not be. Or, I don't remember the other person's name because they weren't in the video because I don't think I actually met them in it. I think I just sat there talking. Maybe I did. I didn't. I watched part of it, then realized, fuck, I missed a bunch. Okay, oh well. So yeah. So I'm guessing this is not the same person because I'm telling them that, I don't know, maybe it could be, who knows, I don't know. Sorry to hear that. I trust you're pestering the prince and your superiors to improve your standing? I'm just kind of, I mean, look, somebody died for me to be here. Someone from my clan, like, met final death so that I could be there. Oh, and that was another thing. The person who met final death, either the person that went through paperwork with me last night, or this person knew them personally. Like, they knew them. They didn't say this necessarily they were friends or they were enemies. They didn't really get into it that I recall, but they knew them. And it seemed sort of like to insinuate that they weren't close, but they were sort of friends. Like, they'd met a couple times and they had similar outlooks on things, and that was not popular. And that was my ticket in, was they were getting rid of somebody who was unpopular so I could get in. And it's like, is that always gonna be a thing? Like, from this point on, like, to be in a Camarilla, like, you know, Lasombra, they're just gonna be like, alright, somebody's on the chopping block, because that just sucks. You wouldn't even want to be that, because if you're not doing good enough, they could just be like, meh, let's throw that one under the bus for this new one that we have no idea will be of any value. You know, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's a process. Oh, Julia, Julia, you won't achieve anything if you don't keep reaching for it. Kadir, weren't you supposed to teach her the ropes? I don't know why I'm giving her that. That's not a proper fucking stuff. It's like it only lasts. Like it only lasts for a little while. I don't know if it's just getting rusty or dirty or something. Maybe I can just put a Q-tip in there and clean it or something with some alcohol and dry it out. I don't know. I'll look into it. I don't know if it's just that this thing's getting old, but I haven't had it that long, like the headset. I don't know. Regardless, Kadir. I'm always trying to, Primogen, but with this child, it's always a process. Wow. Great. You see how Kadir looks different? Very dapper. The necklace looks new. I like the new thing. I think I liked his old suit jacket better, but this one seems to fit him more. Like, but I like the patterning on the old one, and I like what he's done to his hair. Also, he looks less threatening, and he's got that vampire, like an interview with the vampire and other things where it's like they always have like just light on their eyes, you know, like that just sort of like is pretty cool. I don't know, I like that. I can only wish you good luck then. Good night, Julia. Good night, Kadir. See, she seems nice. She seems nice. Like, you know, she's referred to me by name multiple times. Seems like she's trying to make some sort of connection. She does look like she's waiting to use me as a pawn, given her body language and positioning. But her words are nice, and I don't sense any negativity there. It's just, that might just be like her standard body thing, because there has been a little more change in, you know, what they don't like full on like dating, Japanese dating sim sort of stuff, change their position, or like in Persona where they're just like, ah, and you know, they change, like, no. But I have seen a couple times where they will change a little bit or something. So yeah, I feel like Samir and Kadir should be closer because they're both from like the same general area, even if he's a Toreador and she's something else. I think it's Bana Hakim, but I don't know. Either way, I just feel like they might have known each other, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nod, nod, hubba, hubba. Oh, no, just kidding. Vampires don't really do that very much, but they still do like other stuff. Like, gone into that. Not important. Good night. Have a safe trip. The art hole has to be almost empty by now. You like her, don't you? Samira and Kadir. Samira and Kadir kissing in the tree. Or sitting in a tree. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Stop your class clown act, whelp. It only serves to reveal deep insecurities. Damn, what the fuck? Why are you... That's one of the things I said. Some of the stuff he said to me was real savage. Stuff I didn't get recorded. It's like, dude, you just cut, like, all the time. You don't need a sword, you just... Words, just ow. Like, just savage. Like, and he's still been kind of polite, but it's like, dude, ow, what the fuck? It's like, I'm not, like, jealous. I was just like, you two seem to get along. Wow, that's harsh. It's factual. Were I harsh, as you claim? Oh, Jesus Christ, no, I don't even want to know. I'm afraid. I'm in danger. She did tell us both to call her Samir, but you're keeping your distance with that primogen shit. See? Watch your profanity, and don't project your fantasies on me. I won't give you a lesson about professional boundaries, but I suspect the way you will eventually learn it will be extremely unpleasant. Oh yeah, that's another thing is, he basically warned me that, like, I fucking run off at the mouth and say some inappropriate shit. Like, my character just... I can't... It's not that I was always picking the wrong options. I think that's just the character. And he was warning me, like, just try not to embarrass yourself further. And I'm like, I don't think I have the option except for by being silent. And I think I did be silent once. And I think it was not a time I should have been silent. So it's just like, you know what? You can't stop me from shipping you two. If I want to write weird friend fan fiction about the two of you hooking up and kissing in a tree and shit, that's my business. It's my own life. Although you have presence and you could probably get me to tell. You have aspects and presence and would probably know if I did that. If I at all gave you any indication of it. So that'd probably be it. And then you might make something extremely unpleasant happen to me. So I'm going to remove that thought from my head. Carter Vander Vaden. God, I already don't like you. Not only is your name not something I'm a fan of, just the whole thing. But Vander Vaden, just... Carter's not a terrible name, but it doesn't always great. But all this is too much. And then, what is going on with you, just as a person? You look like you're a used car salesman who's late to work because he has no control over his life. And just decided to make the messy hairstyle a thing, like he's trying to be young and hip. But it's just like, it just keeps happening, so I just said it's on purpose. Like, it's just easier. And that you want to be a politician when you get your shit together, which is going to be never. That's what every part of this is saying to me. You have your cornflower blue tie on today, and you're like pinning yourself up, and all that. Alright. Am I interrupting something, good folks? Even though I'm constantly pestering him, Kadir's composure is unshaken. His response comes swift and unfazed. No, he's unflappable. Like, no. You could pull a fucking shotgun out of nowhere and just point it at him, and he would just probably smirk at best and be like, wow, that was dumb. And then you'd be dead. And it would just be over. It'd be like, he'd be explaining to your head after it was decapitated that, like, how you fucked up. And that would be it. So anyway. Not at all, Mr. I'm not even going to try. I don't want to keep saying that. I'm just going to say Mr. Van. Because I don't want to. I just don't want to. I just don't like saying his name. Wait, didn't it have two V's in it first time? Vander Vaden, but now it's Waden? Is he saying it wrong? Or is that the appropriate pronunciation? Or does he do that on purpose? Heading back to your office. Yeah, see, there's a V. Okay, see, that's not a W. You know me, dear sheriff, my dear sheriff. Where else would I go? I don't know. Probably to... I could say a lot of things based on your face, and I don't like any of them and don't want to say them out loud. Try to get myself canceled enough as it is. I don't need to say... Like, yeah. Now that's curious. Even though Carter Vander Waden is a primitive... Why do they keep changing the thing? Confused. Is a primogen as well. Oh, Malkavian to be precise. I don't hear okay. Well, the Malkavian makes sense for the hair. Maybe that's why they did that. That makes me sad because I like Malkavians, but I don't trust you. I just like I didn't even know you're Malkavian, and honestly, it's tough to trust a Malkavian. It's one of those things you could say, like to a Malkavian, like, you know, I trust you, and they'd be like, ooh, that's a mistake, like, you know, like straight up. It's like you really shouldn't, like, you know, like they're like, I don't trust me, motherfucker. I trust me to be me. And I don't even know which me that's gonna be. So you're like, I mean, you can trust me sometimes on this thing. I'll be good, but you never know, man. I don't even know, bro. Deadpool up in this shit. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Oh, I will absolutely show up, provided I can. But just in case, I really apologize for not making it to the prince. Simply drowning in work these days. What do you do? Like what? Like as a primogen for Malkavians, what could you? What are you doing? Are you trying to like minimize the things that Malkavians are doing? Like, what do you do? I just want to understand. Like, you're the primogen, so that has a lot of times. My understanding in the world of darkness is if you're the Malkavian primogens exist simply like as a sort of like, almost like in coteries where they allowed the thin blood. It's like, look, some of them are pretty lucid and can be worked with, and they do actually have some valuable insight sometimes. If they're old enough to have survived and they can kind of keep it together, but you still never know. And you kind of want somebody in the seat to sort of take responsibility. You know, it's sort of like trying to minimize, you know, the problems that come from it. But Malkavians aren't organized except for when they are. You know? It's not my understanding that unlike other clans, the Malkavian primogen isn't going to walk up to a younger Malkavian and be like, hey, bitch, do my fucking bidding. They're just going to... Everyone just kind of does their own thing until the Madness Network is just like, we're all doing the same thing like ants. Like, we don't even know it. We're just doing it. We're all meeting. We're all doing. We didn't, you know? And they would work together to some degree, but it's not the same hierarchical structure as other things, you know? So what are you doing other than maybe trying to be like, well, somebody fucked up and I gotta cover that shit up? You know, that's not good. What are you doing? What do you actually do here? The rhythms, tempo, and intonation patterns of his voice are so familiar. Half of it sounds like JFK. The other half exactly like Barack Obama. Like his appearance, it feels also. It's just, did I not say? I'm so Malkavian. I didn't actually recognize that he was Malkavian, but there was something unsettling, and I was like, okay. But I was like, he looks like he's trying to get, you know, he's trying to run for president someday once he gets his shit together, which ain't gonna happen. Like, chowder. I like to have some chowder. Okay, I don't do a very good JFK impression, but I watched the new season of Clone High. It was still really good and pretty faithful for the most part. They got rid of Gandhi for political reasons, and I understand, but I just still cannot do a very good JFK. And then also mixing Barack Obama and JFK, I don't